But I asked her just to give it back for you. No, no.
City of Perkins regular meeting, Tuesday, January 14th, 2025, 6 p.m. Amy, will you call to order the roll call and establish a quorum?
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the recorder on?
Item agenda number 2, will you stand and pray with me, please? Father, we just come to you again and we just thank you for the city of Perkins, and we thank you for the people in this room and the people that are watching. Father, I pray that you continue to bless our city. I pray that you continue to watch over and guide each and every one of us. I pray you bless us in this room tonight with wisdom and discernment as we make decisions that will affect the citizens in this community. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. So, number 3, this Pledge of Allegiance tonight is going to be led by Mr. Gary Drake. He's also a veteran, we've learned, and served in the Army. So come on up, sir,
And Santa.
what?
And Santa.
And he is Santa, our crossing guard. He's our crossing guard.
Santa's important.
Santa, what else do you do? The voice of something.
Voice of the Bandits.
The voice of the bandits. So we're so glad to have you here.
Pledge of Allegiance, follow me, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America. Thank you, sir, so much. Number 4, consideration and action on consent agenda. Commissioners, anyone?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second. Approve.
Sorry.
Still second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 5, pass. Number 6, consideration, discussion, and possible action to award a contract for Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Perkins Lift Station, project number 24-148 to Orr Construction Incorporated for the bid amount of $1,209,747, funded by the American Rescue Plan Act through the Oklahoma Water Resources Board and matching funds by the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma, and to authorize the city manager to execute contracts and related documents.
Michael Taylor from Cowan Group is here to discuss the bid tabulation and recommendations.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I think you'll find in your packets the recommendation for award and the bid tabulation for the project. We had 2 bids that we found to meet the standards of our bid proposal. And they were pretty close in price. We're recommending for construction. We've worked with them in the past on other projects. And they've done a good job on projects.
I think that would be my only question, is if you had worked with them before.
Yeah, and they're local to Oklahoma. I think their main headquarters out at Davenport.
Okay. Commissioners, anyone have any questions?
You answered mine.
Yes. That was my only question, really, was if you were familiar with them in the past and had worked with them and have a good working relationship, so that worked for me. I make a motion that we award the contract for the ITO Perkins Lift Station, project number 24-148 to Orr Construction Incorporated for the bid amount of $1,209,747, funded by the American Rescue Plan Act funds through the Oklahoma Water Resources Board and matching funds by the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma, and to authorize the city manager to execute contracts and related documents. Whew.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah. Yes. Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica.
Yes. Thank you for coming tonight. Are you?
Thank you.
Are you staying for the second half, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'll stick.
Okay, it's up to you, Liv. All right. Number 7. Ready to read it? Consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 1-2025, a resolution providing for and setting contractor registration, planning, earth change, right-of-way, building, water and sewer connection, and fire sprinkler alarm and suppression fees. Emma?
This time, the only thing added is on page 1 of the resolution under planning, earth change, and right-of-ways, that annexation application fee. That's something that we may need in the future. Staff thought it would be beneficial to have.
Because this came across last year with some changes, right? Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
A
thought.
few changes.
So that's the only change
That's
from what?
the only change from the last,
All right.
that one fee.
Commissioners, anyone?
Make a motion to approve resolution 1-2025.
The easy one. I'll second it.
Thank you. Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica? Yes.
Number 8, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve interlocal contract for cooperative purchasing to join the Houston Galveston Area Council Cooperative Purchasing System. Mr. Ernst?
This, the HGAC is a purchasing cooperative that gets bids competitively, that complies with federal and state regulations. So they already have contracts in place and prices on tons of items that we could potentially use at some point. So joining this will just give us another tool to try to get the best money, best bang for our buck when we're doing things.
And so you're just joining a group, there's no contract?
There is an agreement, interlocal agreement in your packet that
Okay.
we will sign.
There's no money that changes hands unless we
No.
use them?
No, there's no money.
Commissioners, any questions or concerns? Just make your job easier?
A lot.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the interlocal contract for cooperative purchasing to join the Houston Galveston Area Council Cooperative Purchasing System.
A second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. It's realized that was me. Number 9, consideration, discussion, and possible action to acknowledge fiscal year 2025-2026 budget schedule. Already?
I know,
Wow.
right? We just did it.
Did you do turnover a sticky note or something?
Doing it again. I did. So, yeah, so this is, it's kind of the same thing, new year, plugged in any dates that might have changed, and just wanted everybody to be aware of the schedule, how we're gonna have things, and we hope we can stay on track this year.
Commissioners, anyone? We're on track, right? We're just getting started, kind of.
Just getting started. Right now, we're on schedule. Day 2.
Just have to acknowledge it. There's no motion that needs to be done.
Correct. She's
Motion to acknowledge.
just informing that you.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget schedule.
I'll second that.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason? Veronica?
Number 10, consideration, discussion, excuse me, and possible action to approve the City of Perkins Americans with Disabilities Act and the Americans with Disabilities Act Amendments Act policy. Rachel? Says you.
Oh, it does say me, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Different page.
We're not in a hurry. We're at the service.
It seems to be kind of a emerging issue that entities need to adopt policies stating that they're gonna follow certain laws. Seems like it should kind of be obvious, but, so that's what we're doing here, is we would like your approval on this policy that we are actually gonna follow federal law, because we like to follow federal law.
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes us happy.
it's pretty straightforward.
I'll make a motion to approve the City of Perkins American with Disabilities Act and the Americans with Disabilities Act Amendment Act policy.
I second that.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Number 11, consideration, discussion, and possible action to authorize the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed transferring real property located at Williams Drive directly south of Williams Grocery back to the KW Investment LLC.
Okay, so there is a process whereby you can accept real property or easements from somebody, which we have to do on occasion. We purchase property or we want an easement for a water line. That's going to be a document that's a warranty deed or an easement, and at the bottom, there's going to be a place where the mayor signs accepting this conveyance, because real estate is conveyed, or real interests in property, like easements, are conveyed by a grantor granting and a grantee accepting. So if it's properly done, you would have on your agenda, consider, discuss, and take possible action to accept the deed from so-and-so, or to authorize the mayor to accept the deed, sign off on it, it gets recorded. That didn't happen here. You'll see in your packet, there's a warranty deed that was filed with the county land records by KW Investment LLC, conveying a piece of property to the city. That the city was not a part of that transaction, had not agreed to accept that parcel, does not want, from my understanding, to own that parcel. And people are not allowed just to give property they don't want to the city. And so, and Bob can tell you the specifics if you want more as to where this is and why we may not want it, or what all of that has to do. I'll just tell you from the legal perspective, there is a state statute that applies to it's called sham legal filings, and this would fall within that statute. And it authorizes and I'm just going to use the word victim of a sham legal filing to sue the person. Typically, it happens when someone goes and transfers the deed to your house to someone else without your knowledge, or it's not typically this type of transaction where somebody gives property that you don't want, but it works. I mean, this still falls within the statute. So under that statute, you could sue the grantor and request treble damages and attorney's fees. Rather than doing that, or before we would do that, we offered the grantor the opportunity to accept the property back by the mayor conveying it back. And so KW Investment has agreed to accept it back. And that's why we're asking you to authorize the mayor to sign that deed, conveying it back in that form is also in the packet. Any questions for me?
This is the piece of property directly behind Williams part of the property contains the street, Williams Drive. For some reason, it was done, I'm assuming when the grocery store went in, there's a road easement through the property and a utility easement through the property, which is one way to have a road on a piece of on private property. You get an easement. That was in place when the Kinder Wells 9 plat was submitted to the city, and the planning commission went through the city commission. That section of Williams Drive was not on that plat being dedicated to the city. So it stayed its own individual tract.
And then there's
And it's also,
the fence on it.
yeah, it's not just the road. It's a little wider than the road, and it has some weird angles. It's a really strange piece of property laid out, and it would mean the city would have to maintain, I don't know, 20 square feet triangle on the west side of the grocery store, and then a 10 square foot triangle on the east side of the grocery store, and it would mean we own that. So if something happened there, that could be an issue as well. So instead of, I was never consulted about whether or not we wanted this property dedicated to the city. The only reason I learned about it is I got a property tax bill, which is a little bit ironic because we're tax exempt. So I called them and said, we don't own this, and they said, yes, you do. The assessor's office, or county clerk's office said, yes, you do. And I said, no, we don't. We didn't accept it. And we had a disagreement about how you transfer property, and that's why we're here today. So essentially, this was transferred, this warranty deed was filed, and now the city of Perkins taxpayers are paying our attorney to reverse course.
Okay, so to clarify for everyone, this piece of paper should look like this piece of paper with my signature or whoever the mayor was at the time signature on it to accept that, and that was not done. So neither the commission or city manager knew about this.
And the city manager's office wouldn't be authorized by law.
Right, exactly. It would have had to come through here. Okay. Commissioners, anyone, any questions or thoughts?
Oh, it was filed July of last year. Okay.
July 23rd.
I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed transferring real property located at Williams Drive directly south of Williams Grocery back to KW Investments LLC.
Second.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 12, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding city manager job performance review process.
This is on the, I know it, as with the budget, it's like already, but a couple of years ago, I think it was, you established a procedure where in January, you would decide which form you might want to use for performance evaluation for Bob. And that's what this is for tonight. You pick the form tonight, decide on the process, and then and on that, you'll have an executive session in February, pursuant to Bob's contract, to discuss performance. This is just about which form you want to use. Last year, you used the one
We used
Black edging around
the
it.
black one with the edging around it.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, did you have a preference?
I do not.
I mean, out of respect, I mean,
No.
the one with the black edging around it, if I remember right, it's pretty thorough.
We covered a lot. I preferred this one.
I think that's, the first one. It's broad, vague, and then this one is so, I can't talk, so specific that it's easier actually to
fill out.
to fill out and go through, instead of writing a dissertation. So,
Are we gonna change something on the,
You guys, on the last,
walk to the top?
yeah, we added, leads by example. It just said he walks the talk, and you guys didn't love that. And so we added IE, leads by example.
oh, that was Jason.
That was.
It was.
It was.
Probably was.
I'll
take it.
I thought it was a good idea. We all agreed on it. It was a compliment.
Thank you. I'll take it.
I believe that was the only change you made. I think that was last year.
Well, my thoughts on that are, the word consistency comes up. I mean, and we've already done this one before. I still have mine from last year I could use to help. And I think, that's just my opinion. I think this one's, it's thicker. There's more to it, but it's also easier to fill out.
Yeah.
And then it'd be easier to compare from one year to the next because it's the same.
Good for me.
Well, and I just thought of this, but in addition to approving the form, I think last year you decided whether you wanted Bob to do a self-evaluation. And so I think that should be part of your decision today too. The agenda item is the process.
Just now, find it out.
And he loved it. He was excited about doing a self-evaluation last year.
You could have seen the look. I'm sorry.
We're making a vote on that.
You can decide if his self-evaluation was helpful and whether you want to require that of him again.
You know, I
Small
I
D's.
think Bob does that every day. Anyway, that's my thoughts. How's it feel sitting there and everybody talking about you?
Like I just got ran over.
Sarah, go pick him up.
I got you.
How would you like for us to make this motion or state this for the record of which one we picked, or does that?
Whatever process you want to follow. Motion to use this form.
Okay.
Motion to, yeah, which.
How would we describe it? Motion to use the
Same for black edges.
same form as last year? What?
Motion with the black edges.
That's what this country girl was gonna say.
Come on.
That's exactly what was in my head.
Form from last year. Same form from last year.
There you go.
No changes.
You should make that motion.
Okay, I make that motion to use the same form you guys did last year. I wasn't here.
I'll second it.
Is that you, Vice Mayor? Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
Congratulations, Veronica. It's your first motion. It's your turn. Thank you, Tammy. Number 13, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select a candidate for Board of Adjustment, one open position, term ending June 30th, 2025. And we'll have no action on this one. Move forward to number 14. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select a candidate for Board of Adjustment, one open position, term ending June 30th, 2027. And we do have one applicant or letter of interest from Ms. Sarah Rebello of Perkins, Oklahoma. She's currently employed by the City of Stillwater Human Resources Department. She was a commissioner and the vice mayor under 2 mayors. So, even though there's just one letter, I
This is,
highly
I have one over.
recommend. So, any other commissioners? Okay. I make a motion to select, I've lost my track, sorry. I make a motion to select Sarah Robello to the Board of Adjustment, 1 open position, term ending June 30th, 2027.
Second.
We can have it.
Together. That's awesome.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Yay, welcome back.
Can we hold on a second?
We say that wrong?
Hold on. We didn't have anybody. Who made that motion? I'm sorry.
I did.
Would you be willing to revise your motion to select and appoint?
Okay.
We had known at the time, okay, that we should have put an agenda item for you to also appoint. That didn't happen. So
Okay.
Can we start that one over?
Sure can. We want to have it right. So I make a motion to appoint Sarah Rebello to the Board of Adjustment, 1 open position, term ending June 30th, 2027.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 15, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select a candidate for Library Board, 2 open advisory members, terms ending December 31st, 2025. No interest?
We haven't received any.
Okay, no action. Number 16, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select a candidate for Parks and Recreation Board, 1 open position, term ending December 31st, 2026. Says Amy. That you go.
We received initially 3 applications for 2 open positions, and those are in your packet.
Bob, you want to explain or you want me to explain it?
You talk to him.
Okay, so there are,
Well, I will say, if I may interrupt,
Right.
there's a provision in the charter and the state law about nepotism, family members being on the same governing body or working for each other. I believe there was a husband and wife that applied for the same board, and I don't believe they could serve at the same time. So the mayor reached out.
I spoke with Mr. and Mrs. Poole yesterday, and Mr. Poole, Aaron Poole, decided to step back and allow his wife to be possibly selected or appointed to the board. And
He withdrew his application.
he, if you get one, you get both of them anyway. Which is not a bad thing, so. Anyway, so item agenda number 16 is Mr. Chris Wyatt here? Would you like to speak?
No, I thought he was.
He's not here? Chris not here, okay. I did reach out to a couple of his references, and he comes highly recommended by the people that I talked to. I know all 3 of the people he listed as recommendation, I know them personally, but I am older than dirt, so. And then, our other applicant is Emily Poole. And Emily's here tonight. Emily, would you like to speak?
Sure.
Let's take your pulse right now.
No.
Okay, when you come up, will you state your name and your address so that Amy can write it down?
Okay, well, my name is Emily Poole. My address is 505 Full Whiter Court, Perkins. Okay, well, I guess some of you know me, some of you do not. But I work at the intermediate school, so I'm involved with the 3rd through 5th graders, but also I have 2 7th grade daughters and a 5th grader, so pretty much all of these kids in this town know me. You can find me at the softball fields from the time Brent gets there till the lights are off. Aaron and I both. But I came to the meeting the other night and I heard about the daddy-daughter dance and the other things that I didn't realize were a part of all this, and I'm like a professional at those things. So I would really, really love to be considered. I think I'd be a great asset. And I don't know, she said she called my references, but I'm not sure how she can call herself, so maybe she texted.
Shameless plug. Well, I for one already appreciate the volunteer work that you and Aaron have done since you've moved to Perkins. You've just jumped in with both feet, and there are people in the community that recognize what you've already done. So to throw your name in the hat, I know it's a brave step for you.
It's a very brave step for me.
And so I appreciate already what you've done, and I look forward to seeing what you do next. So commissioners, any questions for Ms. Bull?
She's answered all mine.
You did a very good job speaking.
She did.
Thank you. Someone in this room knows that I get a little, I'm working on it though. Small groups of people are better for me. Large groups of people, not so much, right? But it's getting better. I don't know. I used to, back home, I'm from Weatherford, and so I was involved in a lot of things there, but there were people I'd known my whole life, you know? So it's a lot easier to get up in front of people you spent your whole life with that knew your parents than come to a new town where everyone knows you as Remy and Ryder's mom or Aaron's wife. But I'm finally getting my own name now. I'm Mrs. Poole. Kids have, I guess that means they like me too, not just my kids and husband.
I can attest to how very creative she is. And she'll be an asset to the daddy-daughter dance and all the other things besides sports.
I'll also drag Aaron along. He comes up to the school all the time and helps us.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion. Commissioners, anybody?
And you on?
I know.
Emily,
Yes.
would you rather do the 2026 term or the 2027? How about that, since you're here?
2027.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to select,
How about you make a motion to appoint?
okay, I'll make a motion to appoint, I do Chris White, for Parks and Rec Board, one term ending December 31st, 2026.
I second it.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 17, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select a candidate for Perkins Park and Recreation Board, one position, term ending December 31st, 2027.
I'll make a motion to appoint Emily Poole for the Parks and Rec Board, term ending December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Well, welcome. You belong to Trent now, good luck.
For 2 years.
I spend about 65% of my free time on the phone with Trent already, so.
Okay. Item agenda number 18, new business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda. Staff? No action. Number 19, I make a motion that we adjourn the City of Perkins regular meeting Tuesday, January 14th, 2025.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes?
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
That's a gift Bob just keeps giving to himself over and over again. Right. Public's, Perkins, I cannot talk. Perkins Public Works Authority, regular meeting, Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Amy?
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
Don't mention that.
Number 2, consideration and action on consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 4, consideration, discussion, and possible action to award the contract for Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Perkins Lift Station Project 24-148 to Orr Construction Incorporated for the bid amount of $1,002,747. I lost track on that one. Funded by the American Rescue Plan Act through the Oklahoma Water Resources Board and matching funds by the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma, and to authorize the city manager to execute contracts and related documents.
Mayor, could I tell you why this agenda item and future agenda items on these projects will be on both agendas?
Yes, I kind of already know, but that would be great for everyone else to know.
Because the memos of understanding that we signed with the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma were between the City of Perkins and the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma. The grant monies were received by Perkins Public Works Authority. So because they are technically two entirely different legal bodies, because it's intertwined, we have to do everything on both agendas.
You're so smart.
Experience.
Commissioners, any questions on that? Ms. Cohen, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
I was going to say exactly what she said, just talking about how the funding and everything works. You're fine, you did great.
Thanks.
He was on the edge of his seat.
Was riveted.
He wanted to do this. Commissioners, anyone? You want me to? Oh, got you. I make a motion to award the contract for ITO Perkins Lift Station Project number 24-148 to Orr Construction Incorporated for the bid amount of $1,200,747, funded by the American Rescue Plan Act funds through the Oklahoma Water Resources Board and matching funds by the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma, and to authorize the city manager to execute contracts and related documents.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
I don't have
If you're not gonna read it, then
I don't have the updated.
don't make me
one.
laugh when I'm trying to read it.
I would have.
It doesn't
You did
take.
such a fine job.
I'm fighting.
We're not fighting. We're having fun. Number 5, consideration and discussion regarding update on wastewater treatment plant, plant operations and Department of Environmental Quality, or DEQ inspection. Jason Horton, wastewater treatment plant manager with Brightwater. He's here again. He's back.
All right, so
I already have one. Yes.
Did I miss something? I got it right now.
I didn't either, to be honest.
Tammy would have told me if I didn't.
No, ours didn't have it.
Yeah, ours didn't have all the other details on it that yours did. That's why you got to read it all.
It makes so much more sense now.
Who gets the stink eye? Welcome back, Jason. How you doing?
Sidebar.
This is our dysfunctional
so-
family up here.
No, that's perfectly fine. I fit right in. Anyhow, we've made massive improvements at the plant. August, we had a CEI. On that FY '24, there was several items that were still pending. It takes them so long to get it out because DEQ is so far behind right now. And with that lag that they had, of course, when we did the walkthrough, I made notes of everything that they were going to put on that CEI, and we started knocking things off the list before the paperwork ever got to us. So well over half of the items that was on the list has already been taken care of. However, I've went ahead and went through and made notes of what month of this year that we feel like we will get the rest of this accomplished. I've answered all of those questions. I submitted it back to City Manager Bob Ernst. This needs to be put on a letterhead and submitted back to DEQ. And I believe it will have to have mayor's signature and the city manager's signature as well. However, and maybe not yours, maybe it is just the city manager. However, we might get you out of that one.
The city needs.
It's already been completed. I've already sent it back.
Okay, good deal. Anyhow, we will work on getting the rest of these items taken care of. I've got everything wrote down at the plant as well. We do have a couple of pending items that was left on there, like vegetation and the FEB. They've already cleaned the digesters out. However, due to the little bit of sludge that was left in the bottom, there's a little bit of vegetation that's growing just near the air lines inside the digester. It's as simple as getting down and unrooting them from that, throwing them into a bucket, carrying them up, and we're done. I mean, that part of it's pretty simple. Now, the vegetation of the FEB is going to be a little more challenging. There are several different ways you can go about that, and I'll kind of discuss with colleagues and everything to figure out exactly how. One of those ways, we've already had a gentleman come out and spray them with aquatic safe, so it cannot hurt the water and it cannot hurt, it should be completely safe to use around water. However, all the vegetation is completely dead at this point. There's two different ways. We can either get in and hand pick it out, which is the very challenging way to do that, or we can flood it and let it kind of die down and lay down and become part of the vegetation that lies on the bottom of the pond floor. Not exactly sure. I want to see what the best measures is moving forward before I quote which method we're going to use. However, that's a couple of different methods we've done in the past to overcome the vegetation that grows in a dike. The best and easiest way is to flood it, send it underwater, everything will lay down, it'll become part of the pond floor once again. It'll go inert, it'll kind of just go back to dirt, and you know, if you keep it flooded for a certain amount of time, it cannot grow back. However, one way or another, I will get that taken care of. We'll make sure that everything that's on this CEI has been taken care of in a timely manner so that DEQ will be happy and there'll be nothing that'll come back. Now, anything from the past, I cannot help if there's going to be any fees or fines for anything from the past, but as long as we give them a promise moving forward, there should not be any other fees moving forward. They just want to see a plan to get the plant back to where it's supposed to be. However, we have taken multiple samples over and over. The water that we're putting out to the river is crystal clear. It looks like what comes from the tap. With a few different decants from number one, we found a valve that's bad. It's just barely seeping, but that little bit of seeping is, we're still staying in permit, but that little bit is dirtying up the post EQ every time we decant. So I've went ahead and got with Bob about getting a new valve ordered. He said, do it. We're going to go ahead and get that eliminated so that we can stay on the lower end. I would like to be single digits on our TSS. Right now we're double digits, but we can go all the way up to 45 is what's on our permit. We're well under that right now. I do not see anything that would.
We were at triple digits, weren't we?
There was a time that it was elevated quite a bit, yes.
Sorry to interrupt, I just,
No, you're perfectly fine.
I'm clarifying where I am, so
But yes, we've got ourselves to where we're at a very good state at the plant. Is there any questions or anything for me?
The items that are left that you said you were going to have a plan out.
Yes, sir.
Achievable?
It's achievable. Yes, it is definitely achievable.
That
So
was my only question.
the things that were listed on the consent order, have we made our way through all of those?
Well, we've met the benchmarks.
Timelines.
The A, B, C, and working on D, I guess?
I'd have to I'd have to look at it, Mayor. I
Okay.
don't have it in front of me.
And-
May I ask a question? Jason, you mentioned a CEI a couple of times. For the minutes purposes, what does CEI stand for?
Comprehensive evaluation, inspection.
I'm glad you're sitting there, 'cause for the life of me, it wasn't coming to me.
And what's FEB?
It's a flow equalization basin. It's basically the lagoon that if you get a high rainflow, that's where it goes. But we call it FEB in our world. It's a flow equalization basin. Or facultative, anyways.
Pond. Okay. I'm sorry, just a country girl and I didn't know what that was. I figured what it was by the way you were describing everything. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, it's the pond behind the pond.
Get your boat, Bob, go straight.
Any other questions, concerns?
No, I want to thank you so much for you coming and explaining things to us and helping Bob, and it's very encouraging. So,
It actually pleases me to do that. I'm a people person. I love being around people, so it's kind of a thrill for me as well. And the perk says I do get paid to do it, so.
well, there you go. That's a perk too. Thank you. Yeah, commissioners, any questions?
Thank you for all the work you've done out there. We're on the right track.
Yeah, because
And feel free to reach out to me anytime if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you, guys.
thank you so much. Thank you, Bob. That's just Timmy, is that just a no action on number 5? Yes. Yes? Okay. Number 6. Business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda.
I have nothing, Mayor.
Can I say thanks for all the work you've done with Brightwater in this consent order?
Thank you.
All right, number 7. I make a motion that we adjourn the Perkins Public Works Authority regular meeting Tuesday, January 14th, 2025.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes?
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
Fine. On the
Me.